When DC Comics announced that there was going to be a Maxi Black Adam series from Christopher Priest, I thought, hey, that's a pretty good idea. Christopher Priest is a good writer. DC could use more good writers. Black Adam's a good character. He was just with Bendis. You know, that's never a good thing. Maybe he'll do something cool with the character. And then we started getting some of the details that this was, in fact, going to be a mantle swap. And then you're like, oh, my goodness. Can we put a moratorium on mantle swaps just at DC and Marvel? We've had enough mantle swaps at this point over the last 5 or 10 years. But it was going to be the status quo as normal, DC being DC. But you were going to have Christopher Priest. And then he had a couple of interviews, and I started reading the interviews. I was like, this doesn't feel like Christopher Priest. This feels like he's trying to sell like a really bad idea that was pretty much given to him, which I assume is what happened. I'm placing all the blame for this bad Black Adam #2 issue with the reveal of the new Black Adam squarely on the shoulders of Chris Rosa, who's an associate editor, and Paul Kaminsky, who's more like a group editor, because their names are pretty much on every single terrible comic book that DC puts out these days. These guys, I don't know how they still have a job. We need a moratorium on those guys being involved in any stage of comic book development or story development, because anything they put their hands on pretty much ends up as being complete trash. This is no different. Here's the big reveal. Malik White, the ancestor of Teth Adam, the Black Adam himself, is no longer Black Adam, even though he's taken the mantle. He's going to be White Adam. Well, at least they didn't just give him the name. But I don't think White Adam is actually all that much of an improvement over Black Adam. In fact, I would say that that's actually a step down just as far as the quality of the name. Kind of weird that they keep doing this when you have a movie coming out starring like a major person or a major character. All of a sudden you like kill the character off. Is this in DC Comics continuity? I don't know. He's in Dark Crisis too. DC Comics is kind of a muddled mess when it comes to continuity these days. But hey, if you like the Black Adam movie and you like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, you go to your comic book shop and you're like, hey, there was a Black Adam series. I remember Christopher Priest. He's the one that wrote that Black Panther stuff that I thought was so great. Let me pick that up, and then your hero's not there. It's a different version of the character. I don't think that's ever a good idea. Marvel just did the same damn thing with Doctor Strange. Yeah, you got the Doctor Strange movie. Let's kill him off and replace him with Clea Strange, who I guess was like one of the big reveals at the end of the movie. But that was supposed to be a secret. Like, what the hell were you thinking? If I were in charge, dumb things like this wouldn't happen. But let's get into the reveal. I've shown you how he is White Adam. Let's see how he gets there. We see Malik White is in Kahndaq. He's at the bedside of Black Adam, who is infected with some type of weird disease. And it turns out Malik White doesn't want to be Black Adam. He says, I don't want to be a pirate. My homeland is the Bronx. And Black Adam says, you are my descendant of my bloodline. No time to search for others. No need. You are better than I am. You can redeem my name. Hate to see a good writer like Christopher Priest picking up these really bad comic book writing tropes where it's all about validation of the character. But this guy, Malik White, is so damn annoying. That's the worst thing about this. He's supposed to be a med student. You know, he's about to become a doctor. I assume he's in his 20s, but he talks like he's a 13-year-old TikToker. He's so grating and annoying. If this character was younger, this would make more sense because you would expect a teenager to be annoying. But somebody that's like 20 years old is on the path to becoming a doctor, you would expect to be kind of mature and be able to hold an adult conversation without being overly annoying. But this character can't do it. Even says, dude, you look like lasagna. Great line there. Teth Adam really wants him to put on this ring, and his assistant wants him to put on this ring, but he will not do it. And the assistant pulls out a gun, and he's like, hey, wait, suicide's not the answer. Then he pulls the gun on him, and he says, you people are crazy. And then he's let to know, you need to put this damn ring on. And he shoots him point blank in the heart. I understand this is comic books, and we aren't supposed to suspend disbelief to a degree, but that is essentially a kill shot. When you're in the military and they teach you to shoot people, to kill, that's where you shoot them. Probably should have shot him in the stomach if you didn't want him to actually die, but I guess that's neither here nor there, so he puts the ring on so he doesn't die, even though he just got shot in the heart. It probably should have been a kill shot, and then we get the big moment. Behold, my successor, my redeemer, from this day forward, now being the new legacy of White Adam. It is not expected that this character is actually going to be called White Adam in the future, and likely not by the end of this maxi series. He's going to be called Bolt or Thunderbolt. That's the rumor, at least. Some generic name that I'm surprised a DC hero doesn't already have. That will be his name because he is not going to be called White Adam, and he's going to let you know in his TikTok speak here in a moment. The bullet healed. Why am I dressed like a male stripper? I don't believe that male strippers dress like that. I believe he would just have maybe the Thunderbolt painted on his chest and maybe a G-string or something like that. And he says, "What did you just call me?" Black Adam says, "I have murdered countless innocents. I have schemed, colluded with forces of darkness." Sure. But what did you just call me? You will redeem my legacy. You must, because there is no redemption for Black Adam. And then he gets the talk because he is not going to be called White Adam. Okay, stop. First of all, this black equals bad, white equals good crap. You do realize we don't do that anymore. And he puts him in timeout. At this point, Black Adam on his deathbed should probably be removing the ring, realizing he made an enormous mistake because this character is so damn grating and annoying and completely immature. But for some reason, he doesn't do the right thing and just murder him right there and take the ring. Remembering he's a med student, he says, "Your guy is dying. He gave me his ring, left me in charge, right? Well then, a transporter, you say?" And he transports him to a hospital because apparently anyone can just treat this weird disease that Black Adam has. That's neither here nor there. He is a doctor. You would expect him to take him to a hospital. And we get the bad news through a lot of dialogue as they talk about Kandak. This is absolutely bullcrap. Kandaki kids can speak 3 languages fluently by age 4. That is not true. I have a 7-year-old that speaks 3 languages, and he speaks one of them fluently, and the other 2 he's still working on. And we get some more bad jokes. Theo's arrogance would never occur to him to build an infirmary in the palace. To him, it'd be like putting a taco shack in the Vatican. You're Theo's heir, Malik. One of many, I'm sure, but you're the one Nasser found. You can change him. He wants to change. I don't even know this guy. That's what makes this so special. Excuse me. You're from the State Department, yes? My condolences. Theo Adam, the Shah of Kandak, is dead, so we do get confirmation that Black Adam is no more. Long live the king, long live the king. We have another death within the DC Comics universe. I don't know why they're doing like they're killing all these characters off. Would you have Dark Crisis coming up? Like, just before they kill off Wonder Woman, then they kill off Hippolyta. We just saw like a dream of the entire Justice League being murdered. Now we got Black Adam dying, even though he's in the goddamn Dark Crisis, whatever. Like, you guys need to talk to each other, but not to Frank Kaminsky or Chris Rosa. You should just put them on the sidelines and probably get some of your stories straight. This is disappointing stuff. That's the only way that I could say it. You know, when you see Christopher Priest is coming onto a book, a cool character, that certainly has a lot of history and stuff, but you feel like Christopher Priest could have done something cool. Maybe not anything as groundbreaking as Black Panther, because there was a lot more of that character to flesh out, but you would expect him to do something kind of cool with this character. But it's more the same. It's DC Comics being DC Comics, and now they're dragging Christopher Priest down with him. You know, he's a better writer than this. Obviously, he got no support. He got the 2 worst editors in the entire DC Comics bullpen working with him. And unfortunately, he's riding down to their level at this point. I think he needs to put a lot more work into Malik. He comes off as very grating, very immature. He's on a path to being a doctor. You would expect him to be somewhat mature and be able to handle these situations and not come off like a stuttering 13-year-old TikTok kid. So disappointing as all, but this is not anywhere close to the worst comic book that you're going to get this week. This one just had the dumbest reveal possible. Although tomorrow's comic book that I'm going to talk about in more depth, also from Paul Kaminsky and Chris Rosa, is actually worse. Not surprising their fingerprints would be on an even worse comic book this week. I say skip Black Adam, unless you really want to see this character grow, I guess, into being Black Adam before they change it back to Black Adam being the real Black Adam. These mantle swaps are getting old. It's the same thing over and over again. They're doing the exact same tropes. Do something new. Do something exciting, because if you just keep doing the same crap over and over, like, people are just going to have to walk away, and you can't really blame them. DC Comics isn't in good shape right now. Recently, I kind of talked about some of the sales of a lot of their characters, and if it's not Batman, it's not going to sell. Black Adam #1 did sell. There was hope for this series. It wasn't like top 10, but it was top 15, top 20, and there was a chance for it. But I think after this issue, a lot of people are going to back off. White Adam, absolutely ridiculous, pretty embarrassing. DC Comics is just in a terrible state right now. They need to do some work. They need to get some characters over besides Batman, because they're in rough shape.